was coming in the bedroom, and it was this thump, thump, and it was actually my own heartbeat in my ears that you can hear if it's real quiet. You might hear your own heartbeat pumping through your ear next to your eardrum. But yeah, I imagine this Bigfoot leaning over my bed and sniffing to see if I was awake. So I played dead. I was terrified. I thought for sure I was going to die. This horrible death, and it was all in my imagination. But the cool thing is that I really did play dead. I made myself dead. I said, be dead in my mind, and, don't breathe, don't let your heart beat. And I imagined Bigfoot deciding that I was asleep, and he left for other prey somewhere. And then the next thing that happened, I felt this warm, tingling sensation in my feet, and it spread up my legs and through my body. And that is sleep paralysis. When you go to bed at night and dream, your body automatically goes into sleep paralysis. It numbs your limbs. You can still breathe, but that's so if you're dreaming that you're running down the street in traffic, your body doesn't get up out of bed and run out into the street and get killed. So yeah, this warm tingling lasted a minute or so, and I thought, wow, this is interesting. And next thing I knew, I got out of bed, and I looked down, and I saw somebody lying in my bed, and I thought, wow, who's that? And then I realized it was me, and I gave myself the once-over, and I'm glowing, I'm like a ghost in the movies. And I realized I had gotten out of my body. I was now back in my original state, which is our natural state, our souls. And these bodies are just, they're vehicles for us to get around in the physical world. Mm-hmm. And this, Earth is set up as this Spirit School 101. And we come here time and time again, many, many times as male and female. And it grows us, it evolves our souls. You have the young souls are murderers and rapists and these kind of people in society. And the older souls are the spiritual people. They might just work at a gas station or be like Martin Luther King or Jesus or Gandhi or these figures throughout human history that are very old souls, and it's taken a long time to become spiritual like that. There's a lot that goes into that people don't see. But that's goes into my next book a little bit, Old Souls, where it's a little bit like the X-Men. It's another action adventure, and the old souls all have particular powers, and they are in this war against the young souls who want to maintain this sort of chaos and everything that's growing in the Middle East and so forth, and they want to hold on to that power, where the old souls, they're looking for humanity, preparing humanity to take the next step in our human evolution, which is becoming part of the galactic community. And there's aliens there involved where they've been watching us from day one, waiting for us to grow up, and we're getting close to that, and it might even happen in our lifetime, I feel. And that's why I'm writing the story now, because I like to be timely, and I just sort of take the temperature of society, if you will, and I have the next 5 books plotted out, but Old Souls seems like the one that I should write right now.
Now, you mentioned Dean Koontz as an influence in one of the authors you like. In terms of film, is there anything that kind of you get ideas from or influences you in film? Because we've been talking some about horror movies and Halloween movies. Anything in film that influences your writing?
Yeah, I've been into comic books since I was a kid, and Superman's my number one. He started it all, and I don't know about films that directly influenced me, but I found myself, not intentionally, but A Cry for a Hero is very similar to films like Superman and Spider-Man, where the beginning third is the setup of the character, the regular guy, how he gets his powers, his family and friends and some characters, and then the latter part of the book is where he develops his powers and becomes a superhero, and the last part is the climactic action adventure with there's a lot of spectacular effects. If A Cry for a Hero would be a movie, which is my ultimate goal, I think it would blow audiences' mind to see this ghostly, luminescent Superman-looking guy. You know, he's got the cape and the bulging muscles and everything. And yeah, to see him do all these fantastic things, I think it's never been done before, the out-of-body superhero. So that's what I'm working toward.
So, any thoughts about putting your work towards film, or?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my ultimate goal, and there's a few avenues that I've tested the waters in. It's tough to get into Hollywood, of course.
Right.
But
because they sound like they'd be pretty cool. It sounds like they translate pretty well to visual, as well as, you know, it sounds like they'd be really cool visual ideas.
Totally visual, spectacular special effects, and all the CGI they have today, they could do this book. And the cool thing is, I wrote it before 9/11. I started in 1999. I was nearing the end of the book and had been researching this Osama bin Laden character. And I was nearing the end of the book in September 2001 about, the terrorists are coming here to destroy Boston. It's pretty cataclysmic. They kill 2 million people. And I was driving into town that morning. It was 8:30 going on 9 o'clock. And then I get the phone call from my girlfriend, and she says, "Happy birthday, honey. My birthday is 9/11. I'm like, "Thank you." She says, "Something terrible has happened." And just the way she said it just shook me, and I thought, oh shit, they're here. And all of a sudden, my fictional novel about this terrorist attack took on a new light, and I had to put the book down for a couple of months. It was just too sensitive. But then I picked it back up and realized this is a story in the spirit of Lexington and Concord, and it needs to be told. So I finished the end, and a year later found a publisher, and here we are.
How difficult was it to finish, to pick back up and finish that novel?
Yeah, it was tough. I remember at the time they pulled a lot of things off the shelf. Arnold Schwarzenegger had a new movie that was supposed to be released right around then. I forget the title, but it was about terrorists.
Was it, I think, Collateral? Was that the name of it?
Possibly.
I think that might have been it. I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, anything having to do with terrorism in the media, they just they shelved, because obviously it was too sensitive, and people were shocked and reeling from 9/11. But things die down, and people heal, and time goes on. So A Cry for a Hero isn't a story about terrorism as much as it is the cost of freedom and Americans putting their lives on the line for our freedoms. So it's something I don't take for granted. I wake up every day and just feel appreciation to live in this country.
Yeah. Well, now, in terms of Dogman Cometh, you have a couple other things coming up in the Boston area. So you're doing a book signing tomorrow. So what else? What do you got going on for the release of this book?
Yeah, quite a bit. I'm going to be doing about 50 signings for this book. I've done maybe 10 so far. Tomorrow I'm at the Boston Public Library in Allston, and the following week Norton Public Library, and then Walden Books in Warwick, and Borders in Mansfield.
So all over town.
I'm all over the place, yes.
All over town. Now, when could we